Ooh wee, that's funny. I ran out of storage on my my little SIM card, so I had to get that transferred over to my computer so that I had an empty SIM card, because all my SIM cards are full with all kinds of videos that I still have to show you. But I wanted to finish this one here. Remember, this was I just put that door shoe on the bottom, and I had to cut it and fit it along the bottom there. I've got it all nicely screwed in now and stuff. Granted, after the winter, I'm gonna have to take that shoe back off, and I'll have to do some more adjusting probably, because I've got to paint this door, this frame. I have to put new hinges on it because I want to have nickel finished hinges and knobs. I'm going to take this off. I'm going to take the deadbolt off. You know what? I'm probably going to put that on Facebook Marketplace. Maybe. I don't know. And see, this is how Momi wants the doors, with the nickel finished hinges. I just put this door on. I was going to make a video of it, but you know, I was in a rush and stuff, and I've got some more doors to do on upstairs. And so I'm gonna show you how to install a paddle handle like this, and put the strike plate on and adjust the strike plates and all that kind of stuff, and put the hinges on and all that. I'm like, doesn't that look nice? That's how the door is supposed to look, you know? And I've got it all painted now. I've got the hardware installed on it, and it closes fine and all that kind of stuff. And I'll show you that another time. I'm glad this threshold is done, because let me tell you, that took a while to do. If you remember, the bottom of that threshold rubber bit was really super stiff. And they used to, when I used to install those years ago, they used to be more pliable so that they would kind of fold over and sweep on the threshold a little bit better. This one, not so much. So I had to do some contouring, and I believe this threshold has a slight bow to it too, because I had to take my file and shave off some of it and trim off some of it and make it contoured and stuff to fix and to fit this particular door. I even looked underneath the door to make sure I didn't have any gap at all. And see, I don't have any gap, do I? No gap whatsoever. And I'm glad I got my head down there nice and tight, because it was hitting in the middle. It had a slight bow to it. And had I have not done that and pushed it down and not checked it, I wouldn't have fit it properly, and there would have been a big old gap underneath right over in here. And so, you know, now there's not. And when you put on a threshold like that, you want to make sure that when you close the door, you kind of have to push a little bit on it, because you've got that weather stripping at the bottom that needs to be hitting and rubbing, okay? And so I got it pretty good. I had to adjust it, and I had to adjust this hinge, put the shims, put the screws back behind it, push the door over to raise that up. And I think I showed you that on the first part of this video, or the first part of the last particular video on this. And you know, Momi, she was getting all paranoid because she wants to make sure that the air doesn't come in here, because in the winter it gets cold. It gets cold. So got the weather stripping down there on the bottom of that. Got the weather stripping on the edge of the door here, and it fits into a nice little groove in the door. This is an exterior door frame because it's going out into the garage, and then this fits on there, and it's a vinyl. And it folds back into a V-shaped, and it kind of pokes right into the side. I like that kind of weather stripping. When I get ready to repaint, I'm going to take this off, because the last person who painted, they weren't very good, were they? Because they didn't pull the weather stripping off you pull that off with the putty knife, and I'm gonna have to end up going to the store. I could clean that off, possibly, we'll have to see. But if I can't clean that off good enough, I'll take this off and replace it. And besides that, you see there, look how short it is. Right there, I'm getting air right through there because this is short. And what I could do is at the store, they sell these by the length, 7-foot pieces. They don't sell a piece for the header, and I only need this one for this one door. So I would have to buy 3 7-foot pieces. Well, guess what? Maybe I only have to buy 2 7-foot pieces, and then I can use this side piece because it's nice and clean along here. I can recut that and put that up there because this one's got some paint on it. Like I said, I don't know if I can get all this paint off. If I can get the paint off, I can save this piece, and then maybe I'll save these side pieces or something. If I can get the paint off of this, I only need 1 piece, right? So I could go to the store and just get 1 piece, but make sure you take this, make sure if you're gonna do something like that to match your existing conditions, you take one of the pieces off with you to the store, because believe me, they have different colors. I've seen this in black, I've seen it in a chocolate brown, I've seen it in a dark brown. I've also seen it in 3 different whites. Can you believe that? 3 different white colors. And when I get ready to paint this front door on this side and this side, this is the front exterior door. Well, obviously, I'm only going to be painting the door frame up to here. And see, the last person who painted this, they didn't pull that off. They painted this with this door closed. Look at that. And they thought, oh, we can't get inside because it's locked up. We'll just paint that. You know, nothing doing. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to end up taking this off and replacing it. Look at all that red paint. There's no way I'm gonna clean that. Plus it's got gouges in it. This one here is all ripped up right in over here. Okay, and you know, I'm gonna take this to the paint store, or I'm gonna take this to the Home Depot, and Lowe's actually has this too. Lowe's, I saw it in 3 different whites. They got this kind of off-white. It's almost kind of like a putty color. And then they had a bright white. And then they also had a pearl or platinum white, I think they called it. 3 different whites. Can you believe that? And so I might kind of look at this and decide what kind of weather stripping color to put on there. I don't necessarily have to get this off-white. I could get a bright white if I wanted to match up with this bright white out here. Okay, enough of that. In any case, I was telling you about Momi is really conscious about trying to not let the air come in. And on this particular door, there's weather stripping on the bottom of the door. And I looked before, I did not see any air gap underneath here. And I think it's really good. She ended up buying this anyways. Oh, it's a little leprechaun. And I kept telling her, there's no air coming through there, but you know, it goes in one ear and out the other, and I just gotta have to chuckle about it. She wants to have that, and by golly, she's gonna have it. And so you could do something like that, or if this threshold on the bottom of this door, it has to be screwed underneath the bottom of the door. Lots of times you have to take the door off. Take the old weather stripping piece, the door shoe or whatever, unscrew it, take it to the store, whatever. Okay, and another thing, there's a crawl space to go underneath this floor, and it happens to be back in there, and I can get in this room and I can feel that it's cold because there's a trap door there. I was thinking about putting weather stripping around the trap door, just that foam weather stripping to fit underneath the little piece that flops over. There's a nice little piece of trim that fits over the nice new finished flooring that we put on. But you can still fill air. And so what I told Momi, she gets all paranoid about stuff like that. And I guess I don't blame her. And see the big gap underneath the door? Well, you're gonna get the air coming underneath here. I don't want to put one of these by the door. I guess you could if you wanted to. But then it's in the hallway. Every time you walk through here and every time you open the door, you got to move that back and forth. I don't like using those things. She likes it for just variety. She's got a reindeer head on another one she's got on a front door at another place. But if you don't want anything, and because of the gap and because this is the vinyl flooring planking, they have door sweeps, it's called, that you screw on the side of the door, and then the sweep is about yay wide, and you just take that and you kind of push that down so it kind of folds over on the flooring, you know, as you close the door. Then you adjust it, put it on there, and so every time you open the door, you're going to hear it. And you're going to hear that forevermore. Hey, I mentioned it to her, and if she wants me to do that, I can do something like that. I can do something like that too. They also have another type that you screw on there, and it lifts up, and it's spring-loaded. And when you close the door, it sticks out over here. When you close the door, this little spring goodie on the end of it hits the door stop. And then it pushes it down to the floor. And then when you open the door, of course it lifts back up. I've seen those too. Okay, so there's different kinds of things depending on what your door is. You can put a flat threshold bottom down on there. You can put a door shoe on there, kind of like the U-shaped shoe on the bottom of that if you wanted. I mean, there's different types of things at the store, so take a look at that. And you see, you remember how that shoe looks? It's a U. See, it goes this way, across, and then up. Now, on some other ones, they have it just an L. And then it doesn't go up on this on the side of the front of the door, okay? You can get that kind, or you can get a shoe. And usually on the shoes, it's 1 3/4 because it's an exterior door. But sometimes your exterior doors are 1 3/8. So then you'd have to get a shoe that's 1 3/8. And see, here's the rubber goodie with the different little fins, boom, 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 all the way around it. And then you can adjust this up and down so that you get the adjustment there. Okay, lots of different ways to prevent the air from outside getting in. All right, thanks for joining me. See you next time. Now, speaking of next time, what am I going to show you next time? I don't know, but eventually, you see this, I don't have any cover plates. I don't have any cover plates on these light switches yet. Look, there's one, there's a double one. And on some of the electrical outlets, I don't have any cover plates on them yet. Here's another one here. And if I put my hand on here, I can feel cold air coming in from outside. And actually, this is not an exterior wall. This goes out into the garage. See this? I mean, there's still insulation in this wall, but believe it or not, if I put my hand on there, I can feel cold air coming in. And so I'll show you how to fix that on one of my upcoming videos. You'll have to watch for it on my channel.